Hey, what's up, y'all? This is a special edition Marriage Chronicles episode. Normally, every single episode I do, you know that I'm with my wife, but this one is a little bit different. She doesn't even know about this video. She probably won't even know about it until everybody else gets to see it. But it's specifically for her. And being as though it pertains to her, I kind of want to just shoot this video and get it out to the world without telling her beforehand. So the date is June 17th, 2018. And for most people, this is Father's Day. So, most people are going to be celebrating it for that very reason, celebrating their fathers and their upbringing and everything else. But for me, I'm going to celebrate it a little bit differently. For me, this is actually the day that my wife was born. And for most people that actually know me, they know I don't celebrate birthdays, but this one specifically is kind of near and dear to me because, my life changed those years ago without me even knowing because she was born into this world. I'm not dumb enough to tell what her age is, but because she'll kill me. But nevertheless, she was born on this day some years ago. My life changed ever since. Video, without even knowing, is just pretty much to acknowledge, how my life can change in such a quick amount of time. Like, for anybody who's ever seen Unsaid, the very first Unsaid, which was a poem. If you've never seen it, go back and look at it. It's titled Unsaid Part 1. It's a poem, and in that poem, I'm really just going through, how life was. I don't even want to say how life was treating me, but how things were happening or going, or how I was involved in certain scenarios and situations that kind of put me in a weird mental space. For like 3 or 4 years or so, which was very recently to now. It's 2018. This stuff is 2017, possibly into 2016. So it's still very recent. But I was just in a weird mental space. Really down, really hurt, really depressed, everything else. I just realized that I didn't release part 2 as well, and I might not, because there might not be a reason to it anymore. So if I ever do that, that'll be a special edition in itself. But just to go from feeling that way so recently, and then now just being truly happy, it's something that I never really thought was possible. And it's kind of a testament to anybody who may be going through something now. You kind of don't see, you don't see how things can get better when you're down in whatever's bad. You know what I mean? If you're deep down and you're going through something, you really can't see, all right, well, things are going to get better in the future, because that's what everybody's going to tell you. If you're going through something dark, it'll lighten up. You don't really see that or even feel that at the time. But now being a product of it, or having a testament of that, I can honestly say it is true. I never would have noticed that in 5 or 6 months I would be as happy as I am, knowing and seeing myself at that point in time. I can look at that video now and it's almost like I don't even know that person because of how things have changed just that quick. And it's all because of her, to be honest. I never thought that I would meet a woman like her. I've ran across a good amount of women, and all of them have taught me something at least throughout my life. But to come to a woman who kind of is like the culmination of all of them, the good in all of them, it's a great feeling. I look at my exes and everything else. Now, mind you, I've already said in other videos, I only had 2 exes. But I realized that I had to go through them to even appreciate a woman like the one I have now. Everything that I've learned from the first 2, it's almost like they prepared me for someone like her. And everything that was good about them, how they were independent, they made me laugh. I enjoyed their company. I had fun with them. I can have intellectual conversations. I could even, argue with them, but at an intellectual level to where it's not going to be, yelling and screaming and everything else. All that stuff is embodied in this one woman, which, I never thought possible beforehand. I don't look at it as anybody's perfect, and, not to say that she is or I am, but I do realize now that you can have someone perfect for you, a perfect molded person for you, and that's what she is for me. I just look at all the female friends that I looked at or held in high regard, for everything I just said, being able to make me laugh, which ain't the easiest thing in the world, but If you look at all the pictures that I post and all the videos that I'm in with my wife, I'm laughing more than y'all probably ever seen me laugh otherwise. And that's not fake. Like, that's not, trust me, sometimes I don't even like it because it's like, yo, you being all cheesy right now. But I honestly can't help it. And it's honestly because of her. And I don't even know. Like, to me, that's super dope because, she brings, from what I feel and from what I can go off of just now, because we're still learning each other, she's bringing out a side of me that, is still fairly new to me as well. But at the same time, I like who I'm becoming and I like who I'm seeing in the mirror now, if you will. And again, that's strictly based off of her. I always wanted someone who I can compliment more so than someone who needed me. And that's exactly who she is as well. And that's cool in itself because I've been in relationships where I felt like I was a crutch and I had to, basically lift someone up and they wouldn't be able to stand without me. And I've been with someone who was so independent, it was like almost to a fault, to where it was almost like not even caring to have a guy around. You know what I mean? So it was almost like, well, dad, she don't need nobody. You know what I mean? And now that I know, like, my wife technically doesn't need a man, you know what I mean? But I can be a perfect compliment to someone like her because not only is she super independent, but she can acknowledge the fact that, hey, like, this is my husband, head of the household, this, that, and the third, and, I could be a perfect compliment to her. All that without me even having to tell her it, teach her it, or whatever the case is. She already pretty much knows that. And, it puts me in a space of having to do very little in regards to, hey, babe, this is how I want to be treated, or this is how I want the relationship to go, or I feel this way. Like, all that stuff is, I don't even have to say because literally that's exactly what it is right from the gate, like right from the door. That's how she moved, and it was very easy for me. Like, relationships are hard work, but if you can find somebody who makes it just a little bit easier, I think you're in for a better time just off of the fact that they're going to get hard anyway. We've already spoke in video about like little silly arguments that we have, or not even arguments, but debates or disputes, whatever you want to call them, that we've had. And they still happen. So this is not to say that everything's like, they still happen. It'd be like something silly or whatever the case is, but none of it is a big deal. Like, none of it is make or break. I realize that everything that we even dispute about, if you will, we talk about, we get it out of there before it even becomes an incident. And this is stuff that I didn't have to explain to her beyond the fact of telling her the very first time that, hey, look, communication is important, and if we don't communicate, chances are we're not going to make it. And that's standard for every single relationship. Besides saying that, and at the beginning, never had to do it again. That's all specifically based off of how she was brought up. So shout out to mom-in-law, shout out to pop-in-law. Y'all did a great job on her. And y'all raised a beautiful woman, which I'm very happy to say it's my wife now. Not to mention the kids who are great as well, and weirdly enough, love me. I've never been big on kids, not gonna lie. That's gonna be a whole nother video. But at the same time, I enjoy both of them very much, and they seem to enjoy me, which is super great. And Laura, you're doing a great job as a mother. To see Layla at the age she is, and just to see how smart she is at 2 years old, that's wild, because I don't even know if I've ever seen that before. But she's extremely bright, extremely articulate to be 2 years old, to a point to where you even notice that she was 2. Beyond her actual size. And G is darn near too smart. A lot of times I gotta prove that I'm smarter than him, but barely, because he knows a lot. So, you did a great job with raising them, 2 bright children. I'm happy to be in their lives as well. All that's credit to you. You're doing a great job, and I know that you have, a lot on your plate. Even before me, just being a single parent mother, trying to raise 2 children, one being a man, which is even harder to do, being a woman. So, I tip my hat to you on that. I know that experience from the son level of, being the son of someone trying to do exactly what you were doing before I got in the picture. I know it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And salute to everybody who's attempting to do that. So to see that you do it with such grace, you know, salute to you. You know, you make it, I don't know how easy it is or hard it was, you know, per se. I can only empathize with it, but, you know, you make it look easy. And that in itself should be acknowledged. So, you know, I just want to kind of alleviate, you know, some of that. I don't even know if it's headache, but I just want to alleviate some of that workload that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. You know, and I'm thankful that you even, you know, saw fit to see me as the person to do that. You know, because I can't even see why nobody would want to be with you. You know what I mean? Like you're cream of the crop when it comes to the type of woman that a man, you know, a real man would want. You know what I mean? And for the fact that you even, you know, decided to put me in that position, you know, it's an honor. You know, more so than anything else, it challenges me. You know, and that's what I need. I think everybody needs to be challenged to grow. You know, and I've been put into a position where that's going to happen regardless. There's no other way, you know, for me to succeed at this position without growing. You know, for one, not having children and inheriting 2 children immediately. You know what I mean? So there's certain positions that I'm put in now where I got to learn on the spot. But, you know, something that you saw in me, you know, I guess you saw at least that I'm worthy of being put in that position. You know, and I know that's not necessarily like just an easy decision, or I wouldn't think that it's necessarily an easy decision, you know, to just put somebody in place of having the responsibility of your children, you know, and so quickly at that. But, you know, for the fact that you've done that, you know, I just hope to live up to whatever expectations you have, exceed the expectations that you may have, you know, and possibly just grow into something amazing as a unit, as a family. You know, like it honestly does feel, and I told you this before, like just right after we got married, it literally felt weird, you know, just being apart from it. And I didn't know that just saying I do would do that. And, you know, not to say that I would want to be away from you beforehand, but just literally like you living in Georgia, me in Delaware, as boyfriend and girlfriend, it was like, okay, this is what it is. Like, you know, my girlfriend just happens to live in Georgia, and, you know, I'll come down when I can come down or whatever. But, you know, it's almost like as soon as the title of husband and wife came into play, it now doesn't feel right. You know, it literally feels like you're missing a side of you. Even to where we went to a party together, and, you know, I'm pretty sure this will probably change with time, but literally we're in the party, and as we kind of venture off to our whatever circles, the guy circle and the female circle, I'm still looking around, you know, just to make sure I know where my wife is. You know what I mean? And you saying the same thing, like you were doing the same, just to see where I am, because it felt weird to literally just be a few feet from each other. I'm sure that'll change, you know what I mean, in time. But, you know, just to have that type of space in between us feels weird, and to have so many states between us, unacceptable. So, you know, just to even push me, to drive me to be like, you know what, I got to change this, and kind of put like a fire up under me to make it to where we're all under the same house, to where we can raise the children together, you know, really experience each other fully, without any distance beyond what we put between us for work purposes, possibly vacation purposes, whatever. You know, I'm on it. I'm trying to fix that immediately. Not to ramble on this video because I didn't want to make it too long, but I really just wanted you to know that I truly love you. You've made me happier than I actually thought was possible. And again, to go fully from just being depressed, suicidal, just in a real bad mental space, you know, to where I am now, you know, salute to you, you know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't think that was possible. And you've actually done that fairly easy. I'm doing the snap because the Thanos thing, it was that quick, it was like, and then boom, like things changed or whatever. So, you know, for you to do that, super dope. I salute you. Hopefully I will be with you today, you know, at some point in time. I know it's your birthday and all that, so I don't know what type of other plans you may have or whatever, but whatever the case is, I wanted to shoot this video for you, to salute you, not only for it being your birthday, but for you being my wife, for forever, for doing such a great job, and for me, and for you even choosing me to actually take this type of journey with, because it's a long one, it's a forever one. So for you to even, kind of pick me up the crowd and say, all right, him, tip my hat to you. I thank you for that type of responsibility. And I plan on making all of y'all proud in the process.